I'm Emily Richardson, and I'm a first-year student at the Washburn Leadership Institute.
My name is Amy Kirsch, and I'm a second-year student at the Washburn Leadership Institute.
And our guest today is Ruth Garvey-Fink. Mrs. Fink, what is your personal definition of leadership?
Well, I've been thinking about this because I never thought about it before. It requires leaders possess vision, courage, and acumen. They have a will and a determination to accomplish beyond anything they want to achieve. And they're willing to take and they have the courage to take a stand and take personal risks to achieve their goal, even if they're controversial or politically incorrect. Aristotle believed that courage was the first of the virtues. And I think leaders, they're different. Sometimes an event produces a leader. You've known of cases like that, where something happens and someone comes forth who could lead. They connect with ideas. They listen with open minds to learn all they can from those who know. They're not afraid to question the conventional wisdom. They make their decisions based on their own considered judgment. I think that most leaders maintain a positive attitude. For instance, they don't think about failure, but they don't fear it, but they are realistic. They don't risk more than they can afford to risk, and in the money. And they welcome and take advantage of change and are willing to take personal risk, which is the hallmark of successful people. And they listen with intent to learn, and they communicate and set an example in communication. They say what they mean and they mean what they say. And they delegate responsibility to challenge and encourage others to achieve also. But nothing in the world takes the place of resistance. Talent won't. Genius won't. And education alone won't. But resistance and determination are omnipotent. Of course, the most important thing for you young people is that you have the opportunity to go to the leadership school, because knowledge is required. And the liberal arts that you gain, all the things that you gain here open vistas that you wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to have. And these can give you ideas, and it doesn't make any difference when in life these ideas come. When the opportunity arises, leaders are determined to get it done, I think. That's all.
Ms. Fink, do you consider yourself to be a leader?
I don't know that I am, but I've never even thought about it. I just go ahead and do what is at hand. But I have had an opportunity here, and I'm one of those people who has had some opportunities, and I've tried to achieve them, not always as successfully as I might. One of the nicest ones was when Brad Thompson designed his Bible, and he took him 10 years to design it. He was the foremost graphic designer in the world, and he revised the Bible entirely. Have you been to the Bible room at the Alumni Center?
Bradbury Thompson.
And watched it, and seen what he did, and have seen what he did. He had been doing annual reports, and he wanted to make the Bible readable. So he has it in phrased lines as you would read it, you know. And so that opportunity for Washburn to publish the Bible, because the people who had commissioned it had reverses and wrote it off and told him to find another publisher, and he came to his alma mater. The opportunity to publish it and build, and with the prophets, as my mother who underwrote the thing insisted, she said the prophets would go to something on campus in honor of the Bible and Brad and the Bradbury Thompson Center as a result. Although it took many other contributions, but the prophets for the Bible are there. But that was an opportunity for me, and I don't know that I led, but I was chairman of the committee. But of course, we were all so carried away by the nobility of the product, and Brad, who was the soul, who had the only knowledge of marketing great art of any of us. I talk too much.
In your definition of a leader, you talked about the importance of knowledge and courage and vision. Are those the most important qualities of a leader? And if not, what do you think are the most important qualities?
Well, I think for any human being, the most important part is honesty and integrity. I think that that's basic. You may not have, I don't know, you have to be able to trust people. And I think it's imperative to keep your word and to be honest. I don't know what the most important part is. I think that with leadership, people have imagination. They aren't carried away, but they really see the big picture. And that's different from most of us, you know. We concentrate on our own little world, but these people have dreams. And if it's tempered by reality, that's what, and other things fall into place, why that's what makes things go.
You said earlier that some leaders are made out of circumstance, that different situations occur and people step up to their leadership positions. So do you feel that leaders are made, or do you feel that some people are born as leaders?
I think people are born with capacity, and sometimes they're encouraged by the people around them to develop. They nurture this talent. I don't know whether, but I think that some people really want to achieve. Don't you think that's true? Mm-hmm. And they want to find a way to do it, and so I think that's it's the passion.
So it's kind of a combination.
But you know, there's a lady in downtown who ran a little restaurant, and she decided that the town needed to be decorated on Christmas, and she personally took it on as a project and accomplished that herself. That's what I mean by sometimes people come forth. You know, the woods are full of people like that. There's a woman from Salina, whose name I can't really recall, who went out to Denver, and she personally went cold turkey to the city fathers, to the stores and people, and she's the one who transformed Larimer Square from a slum and a flop house to what it is today. She's been on the cover of Preservation magazine and things. She really is a great lady, and she did it all by herself. I mean, at first she did, but she got a lot of people to help her. Those are things that aren't business successes, but they are in a way. But it shows leadership quality. That's what and I think there are lots of leaders in every community. There are leaders in this community. They may be leaders in a small, in a project, but they're leaders. But I think what you're trying to be is real leaders, true leaders, and I'm sure you will succeed. I'm not the guru. I haven't all the answers.
You emphasize the importance of honesty and integrity as the values of a leader. Are these the same values that you personally have used throughout your lifetime? Or?
Yes, and they're not the values of a leader. They're values of character. But I think that they're basic to these other things. I think vision. You asked me what the most important things, qualities of leaders are. I don't know. It's determination and persistence, I think.
We read your biography earlier, and I saw that as far back as the 1950s in a company here in Topeka, you held positions such as president, director, manager. Can you tell us how being a woman at that time affected your positions?
Well, of course, first it was a family business. I didn't develop it. My parents, but they put us all in. They gave us each responsibilities about the business, and we had the Topeka area. So I can't claim that I earned that. But you're asking. My parents. I'm fortunate. I know I am in lots of ways. But my parents never made any distinction between their daughters and their sons. They encouraged us all in the things in which we were interested. So I never have thought about the matter of having to fight your way. My my own grandmother was a college graduate in 1860-something. And so she went to a college where they educated women. And so that's been my background, which is different from some.
That's wonderful.
In addition to being a career woman, we saw that you have a lot of involvement in the community. Why do you feel that community involvement is important? And in your opinion, is it a person's civic duty to do this, or is it more self-rewarding?
Well, I think you find, if you see a need and think you can help, you're going to do it. I never would let my name be put up just because to belong, just because my name's there. I never participate. I had to participate in order to have my name there. But the things arise, and you feel like you can help, and you do. It's like isn't your Washburn motto, "Non nobis solum," not to ourselves alone? Or is that? I don't know if that's your motto or not. I think it is. Or at least it's non nobis, I think. And I believe that. I didn't go to Washburn, but my parents did, and I do believe that if we have the time and to do it and can do it, we ought to try to improve things where we brighten the corner where we are.
Well, since you had this full-time career and you served on all these boards in the community and you had a full-time family, how did you balance between?
Well, when I had my family, I did not go to the office much. I was at home, and I was fortunate that I could be. I waited until my youngest child was in college before I stood up on my hind legs and barked for an office, which I did. but I waited until then. Of course, we had a combined family too. We had, my husband had lost his wife, and I lost my husband, so we had 5 children, who were 2 of them were my husband's, and 3 of them were mine, and we are very proud of all of them. But we had, I had a full plate.
Have you instilled your ambition in your children?
I haven't had to, I don't think. I don't know if I have, as a matter of fact. I might have done more about it. They went to school. The last ones went to school in the 60s when they were told that they didn't have to work. Anybody who believes that? One time, my youngest came home and said, "Mother, the trouble with your generation is you're materialistic." I said, "Yes, we knew we had to get a job."
We focused a lot on our leadership classes on how leadership has changed over time. Originally, it was hereditary aspects or one person controlling others or leading others, and now it's more of a team effort or a coalition or collaboration. Have you noticed this change over time?
Oh yes, of course there's a change, and of course the United States of America changed things because they gave everybody, the Fifth Amendment gave them, you had the right, anybody had the right to acquire property. And the old land grant system and the hereditary system was outmoded by that, and it's what made this country prosper. And what was your other question? I can't remember. Oh, yes, I've noticed a change, and of course it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about big business, or if you're talking about civic, whatever you're talking about, it all varies. That's true. It's a little hard to describe leadership, but I do think some people have vision, and they could persuade other people to their point of view, and because they're authentic, they are honest and straightforward, and when all those things come together, why, good things happen. Good things can happen.
We studied in depth the differences between management and leadership. We basically were taught that management is controlling change and where leadership is encouraging change. Throughout your experiences in business and service, have you observed any differences, and which did you use more to your advantage?
Well, I don't know if I could use it, but it's been my observation that they go hand in hand. A good manager, salesmanship is a lot of it, you know. You have to really sell people on what you believe in and what you procure their allegiance to it, or their communicate. So I think it goes hand in hand. I don't know, because I've never worked for big business since I was a girl, I worked for the telephone company, and I was delighted to get a job in the Depression, but I didn't work there long. So I'm not conversant with large corporations.
What do you have in yourself, what hopes do you have for students like Emily and myself in our progress through the Leadership Institute?
I can't wait to see what happens. I think it's wonderful. I think you have opportunity, and I think it's marvelous that you're having this opportunity here, because you have individual attention, and I mean, you have the don't you have the interest of, are your faculty interested in their students?
Definitely.
And conversant with you, and I hope that, I wish you every success.
Thank you. Well, you told us earlier that you love Washburn, or
yes.
you're part of Washburn because your family has graduated from Washburn.
I have my mother's 3 sisters and her brother, and she all graduated, and as did their spouses. They met them here, and some of them have honorary degrees. My husband's family are the same we have, and I have cousins. When there are trees, I bought 20 trees that each of them for 20 who went to Washburn College before it was Washburn University, and I think that, and when I came to Topeka, I think my mother was invited to be a trustee, and she said, Ruth lives there, why don't you take her? So that's how I got onto the board of trustees.
Well, we just wanted to say thank you for this interview, and we're very proud and happy to have you as part of our Washburn family.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very excited about Washburn. I think it's a wonderful school.